Throughout his 17-year reign, the man who would be known forever as Bad King John betrayed those closest to him, persecuted the innocent, and was the first king of England to be accused of murder. John was born in Oxford on Christmas Eve 1167, the fourth and youngest son of King Henry II, the head of the Angevin dynasty, a family of powerful nobles originating in Anjou in central France. Like William the Conqueror 100 years before them, they controlled all of England and vast territories throughout France.
He was born into the most powerful family in Western Europe. His father, King Henry II, was not only King of England, but was also Duke of Normandy, Duke of Aquitaine, which is the whole of southwestern France, Count of Anjou, the rich lands in the Loire Valley, and was on the eve of invading Ireland and subjecting Ireland to his dominion as well.
John was haunted by the fact that his father, King Henry II, gave him the nickname Lackland. To amend this in 1189, Henry gave the 18-year-old John the governorship of Ireland. One of John's castles still stands at Limerick in the Irish Republic. Whilst there, John exhibited one of his most notorious qualities.
Two contemporary commentators comment upon his rapacity and avarice, that he wouldn't pay his soldiers, but seemed very keen to make as much money out of everyone there as he could. So right from the beginning, avarice, greed, is certainly one of the characteristics they pick up. They say they hope he will improve as he gets older. He's just a lad, after all.
Things would never change. Regardless of how much his father tried to help him, John's appetite for power would always outweigh any sense of loyalty to his father. John wasted no time in joining his brother Richard and the King of France in rebellion against his father. With Henry's death in 1189, Richard was now the King of England. And though generous to John, John felt no sense of loyalty to his brother.
From the time of the succession to the throne of his surviving older brother, Richard the Lionheart, John was given fantastic wealth, particularly in England, but also in Normandy, and he was also Lord of Ireland. Now, if that wasn't enough for John, it just shows that it would have been impossible to satisfy him.
Wounded in battle at Chalus in central France, Richard died on April the 6th, 1199. On his deathbed, he named John as his heir.
John was a wonderful calculator, but in the end there was something vicious in him which is always going to come out, always going to smile to your face and stab you in the back.
He was violent, he was cunning, he was witty and fun, but he was also not to be trusted.
Writing after John's death, a medieval chronicler said of him, "He feared not God, nor respected men. His punishments were refinements of cruelty, the starvation of children, the crushing of old men. His court was a brothel where no woman was safe." In July 1212, he hanged 28 hostages, all of them sons of Welsh barons who'd threatened rebellion. Relations between John and his barons had deteriorated to such a degree that in 1212 there was a plot to assassinate him.
And the idea was, on the 1212 expedition to Wales, to either to leave him to his fate or actually to kill him there. And I mean, John heard about it just in time, shut himself up in Nottingham Castle, didn't go on the Welsh expedition, and was clearly badly shaken.
John's oppression was so widely felt that the legend of Robin Hood was born, the mythic outlaw of Sherwood Forest, who stole from the rich and gave to the poor.
Exaggerations, I'm sure, but they were effective exaggerations because they were widely believed.
Driven to despair, John's subjects would try to impose a document on him called the Magna Carta, guaranteeing protection of their rights. On June the 15th, 1215, at Runnymede near Windsor, John met with the barons to sign the Magna Carta, but he had no intention of abiding by it. John's attitude made civil war inevitable. A brutal year-long campaign was waged throughout the country. In January 1216, John slaughtered the inhabitants of Berwick on the Scottish border as punishment for supporting the rebel barons. At Rochester in Kent, John personally directed the 7-week siege of this rebel stronghold. To torment the starving defenders even more, he ordered bacon fat to be smeared and burnt on the wooden props used to undermine the castle's west tower. The tower and the rebels' resolve soon collapsed. But total victory would elude. He died at Newark Castle in Lincolnshire on October the 18th, 1216. In his hurried will, he specified that his body should be interred at Worcester, where today the body of bad King John still lies in the cathedral.